なんなの急に。なあ、二人ともなんで無言？
私たちではご不満ですか？
不満とかでは。
では何です？
二人は
かみよ。ええ、巴さん。この際どちらが先などと言っておられぬ。今この場で私たち二人と関係を持っていただ。
Hello anime lovers, it's Nats from Aninats channel. I'm gonna bring you some cool anime scenes, compilation, and reviews from animes that I personally watched. So, let's get started. Misumi Makoto is an ordinary boy who is transported to another world to become a hero by the god called Tsukiyomi. But because the other world's god thinks Makoto too ugly for a hero role, he banished to a wasteland world, infested with non-humans and monsters. After wandering the wasteland for 3 days, Makoto saves a young wasteland resident, called Emma, from a two-headed wolf monster which he defeats. He then discovers how strong he now is. Emma explained she was supposed to be a sacrifice to the god called Shin, to dispel the fog around her village so crops can grow. She takes him to her village where Makoto begins to learn magic. Makoto then decides to defeat Shin, a giant dragon who uses the fog to create illusions. Shin traps Makoto inside an illusion of a happy memory, but after examining his other memories he realizes and breaks it. Makoto then surprised when Shin offered to make a contract with him to become his familiar. Makoto agrees and they form the contract, and Shin transforms into a busty samurai girl. Apparently Shin is obsessed with Makoto memories of historical dramas in samurai when she got into Makoto's memory. She teleports Makoto to the alternate dimension where she normally lives, which resembles Japan's countryside. Makoto informs Emma that he has defeated Shin, and offers for the orcs to live in her dimension as it is now ideal for farming. One day, Shin shows up with an injured dwarf explaining their dimension is being attacked by a spider, called Black Disaster. It is cursed with eternal hunger and consumes everything. Makoto manages to completely defeat the spider but collapses for exhaustion. Shin gets ready to help, but the spider suddenly declares that extreme violence has satisfied its masochistic hunger and she is determined to stay with Makoto forever. Shin suggests that the spider should also form a contract with Makoto to gain a human form and she agrees with Shin performing the ritual. All this happens while Makoto being unconscious. Makoto awakens and finds he has a new busty female servant who makes him slightly nervous. The dwarf named Baron gives thanks to Makoto. The dwarf turns out an elder dwarf who capable of crafting artifacts and weapons. Baron later also moves his village into Shin dimension. Shin and the spider request personal names so Makoto renamed Shin as Tomoe and named the spider Mio. Makoto discovers when he was unconscious, Tomoe and Mio went recruiting, and now his village is populated by orcs, dwarves, lizards and spiders. Makoto then returns to the normal world and finds a human village, but they attack him. Tomoe explains that Makoto's magical aura is so strong that the humans probably mistook him for a demon lord. Makoto then has the dwarves craft items to suppress his aura. He then enters the human posing as merchants. They register at an adventurer's guild, where Tomoe and Mio break records by being more powerful than strongest adventurer known. While Makoto, due to his suppressed aura, ranks level 1 which is weaker than a child. Makoto notices the price of commodities is unusually high and that people have begun following them, prepares to foil a night attack on their wagon. Later on when buying food, Makoto and Mio are approached by a young girl called Rinon. She reveals her sister called Toa has disappeared, meanwhile Tomoe confronts some thieves and defeats them. While fighting them, Tomoe found out from the thieves' memories that their group is holding Toa captive. Makoto sent Mio and Tomoe to save her. Makoto was concerned for Toa because she resembles Ishikawa, a girl who he knew in Japan. Mio and Tomoe manages to locate Toa and her captor called Mills Ace, the current strongest adventurer. He reveals a demon lord recently approached the city and had a bounty placed on its head, so he wants Mio and Tomoe to help hunt it, not realizing the demon lord was actually Makoto. After that he will release Toa, who has a lot of debt. Disagree to comply, Mio and Tomoe beats up Mills and his thieves, destroy part of the city, competing to see who defeated the most enemy. Afterwards, Rinon reunites with Toa, who is identical to Ishikawa apart from her hair color. Makoto praises Mio and Tomoe for rescuing Toa, but then blasts them back to the Wasteland to repent for foolishly destroying the entire human city. Returning to his village, Emma reports on their progress. The dwarves have begun constructing buildings and the lizards clear the farmland, while the orcs have begun constructing Makoto a castle. Makoto then was given a merchant's outfit by the dwarves to further suppress his aura. Makoto discovers that magical ingredients grown in the demiplane are more potent than normal. Makoto goes to register as a merchant and passes the written exam easily, as it just like basic middle school mathematics in his world. The second test is to gather for dangerous items, and he also passes it easily. He then starts to think the strategies to sell the demiplane products. Meanwhile, Tomoe and Mio were confused when Makoto chooses to sleep alone rather than pick one of them to make love, so they decided that they must come up with a seduction plan. Emma informs Makoto that yet another problem has arisen. The warriors in Makoto's village are depressed after training, and Makoto learns it is his fault, as during training he completely overwhelms them to the point they lose confidence. He also realizes the various species don't train with each other, so he arranges weekly competitions inspiring them to strengthen themselves and each other. Afterwards, the village throws a party to celebrate Makoto opening his trading company. One of Makoto employees reveals a highly valuable products called ambrosia flowers have been located in the outside world, but they decided not to harvest any because it's protected by elves. One day Makoto travels to the human world and is approached by an adult worker, so he is dragged away by the furious Mio and Tomoe. They declare they are tired of waiting for him to grow up and will make love with him immediately. They even set trap to the room so Makoto won't be able to escape. Once they are ready to seduce him, Makoto panics and manages to flee. Mio apologizes for her and Tomoe behavior, so Makoto invites her to help negotiate with the elves. Other adventurer also appeared to steal the flower and causes the elves to attack immediately. Makoto saves the adventurer and teleports them to the demiplane. He then makes peace with the elves. Makoto then brought to the elves' elder and negotiate. They finally make good deals, but one of them feels angry and start to plot something bad. Mio suspects he was possessed and overhears a telepathic conversation when an unknown person speaking about demons. Finally, a spirit emerges itself from the elf's body. Makoto identifies it as a lich and captures it. The lich explains he was a human who accidentally became a lich while trying to become Grant, a human who can travel between worlds like gods. After regretting his past crimes, the lich happily accepts Tomoe's suggestion to form a contract with Makoto and teaching him about magic. After forming the contract, the lich transforms from a skeleton to a young and attractive man and named Shiki. The adventurer Makoto saved earlier has decided to escape the demiplane. A magical explosion occurs in the village, causing Tomoe to collapse. Makoto able to heal the injured. He realizes the force of the explosion had opened the portal to the outside world. Examining the memory fragments of the adult worker, Makoto sees that the adventurer attempted to steal magical items, and when guards intervened, one of the rings full of Makoto's magic exploded, killing the villager. Makoto loses his temper because they are ungrateful for being saved. He follows her and coldly kills the adventurer in revenge. After the funerals, Makoto orders walls to be constructed so that any adventurers who visit the demiplane to trade are kept separate from the village itself. Makoto then decides to learn more about the world of the goddess and humans. As he may be gone a considerable time, he takes only Shiki with him and gives Mio and Tomoe some of his memories as gifts. As they prepare to teleport, the goddess suddenly locates Makoto and disturbs his teleportation, sending him to a distant battlefield where two demon warriors attack him and cut two of his fingers. The demon warrior are the strongest adventurer in the world. They reveal a demon army is ready to destroy humanity. Makoto then releases all his equipment suppressing his magic, and continues to fight them. He manages to overwhelm the demon warrior and defeats them. However, they are still alive and swear to take revenge to Makoto one day. Shiki believes the goddess has used Makoto to destroy the demon army and may be watching them. Makoto learns after he teleported by the goddess, that the demon and human armies did massive damage to each other, and that 2 other goddesses summons heroes and demons to take part in the battle. Afterwards, Makoto village begins back to normal. The villagers having a feast celebrating Makoto's trading company. While Mio and Tomoe rivalry over being Makoto's favorite familiar continues. This brings the anime to an end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. See you guys soon.